Welcome to MBA Market Business Africa, but I wanna give you a disclaimer upfront. I'm not racist, rather than I'm a pro-African person. I'm a pro-panism African. I support Africa. Africa is one of the greatest continents on earth, and African people are the best people in this world. But that do not mean that I can be biased. As a self-taught historian, my job is to give you honest and show you the reality. Now here's a reality. Again, I put my disclaimer. Please hate me. Feel free to give me your opinion in the comment section box below. But I'm going to talk something about which a lot of African American my friends are going to get offended. But let me put the reality up front. I am against any kind of black people movement in United States USA. Why is that? Why I'm against this BLM, Black Lives Matter movement? Because they forgot the fundamental. Most of this movement, especially the BLM, Black Lives Matter, the movement itself is racist. The movement itself is totally corrupted. We don't know whether the intelligence agency run this movement. We don't know which country or which agency have penetrated this movement. Let's assume this movement is a genuinely movement by the African American people. But now here's a problem. Let me give you a reality check. African American people was bought as slave. This USA, the country, do not belongs to them. Again, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. They bought a slave. The Atlantic slave trade, 95% of the slave went to rest of the continent of America. Only 5% from the Atlantic slave trade end up in USA, the country USA. As a whole, America as a continent, including any like Latin country, Argentina, most of the slaves end up there. Only 5% end up in the USA. Number one. Number two, the African American, they are outsider. Their original country are located back in Africa, Cameroon, Gabon. These are the original country which most of the slaves come to USA. Okay, the same way the European American come by force. The same way the African American come as a slave. So both of them are outsider. Okay, I hope I can establish this point well. Number two, the African American, the group is the third largest group in USA. It's around 5% of the entire USA population. The first one is of course white people, the Caucasian. But what about the second one? The second group is Latin. Okay, again, let this point sink in your mind. Latin, it doesn't really matter they are indigenous people or they are Mexican. The Mexican people have more right on USA than white or black, because this is their continent. The continent of America is a Latin continent and it's their continent. The same way Negro have more right in Africa, even more than Arabs there, or the Bantu people. They have more right in Africa. The same way the Latin people have more right in the continent of America than black or white. But what this kind of irony is that in every movie, in every TV ad, everywhere, especially like only 5% of USA population is classified as African American. 6.7 or 7% is Latin. In every movie you will see a black guy, but in how many movies you are going to see like a Latin person? Just forget about the indigenous people. For last 500 years, there's a genocide going against the indigenous, the Native American. I will be talking about later. Let's assume, Let's assume that there are 100 people, there 5 will be black and 7, around 6 or 7 will be Latin. Let's like bring any movie, like any superhero movie, like the Avengers or like any another movie. You will see some kind of black character in that movie. Nearly every Hollywood release movie you will find some kind of sporting character, mainly to some kind of African American. Even there are more Latin people in USA than African American. It's very rare to see a Latin guy. It doesn't really matter he's natively from USA or outsider, especially from Mexico or any another neighboring country. I'm talking Latin. I'm not talking about, for example, Caucasian, Argentina. Again, they are outsider. I hope I established the point. Number 1, African American come from Africa. Number 2, they are third group. They are third largest group, not the second. Number 3, they have more right already. Yes. African American people already have more right. They are so much right that I think we need to scale back their right. Yeah, I'm talking about this. Here's a quick story. One person, she was a female. She get around 3 point some GPA, 3.7 something GPA. Okay. She applied for a medical school in USA. She is a USA citizen. She's born there. She's a Caucasian. Let's assume she's a European American. She was rejected. Another dude, African American, applied in same medical college with 2.78 GPA. Bayanara accepted. Isn't this discrimination? Indian people or Sri Lankan people or Bengali people are becoming African American just to get into medical college. Where's the merit? If you want to get like any kinds of privilege, you just say you are African American. Why not everyone is equal? Why shouldn't you should be judged by on merit? Another point is a Black Lives Matter. When you talk about Black Lives Matter, isn't the Latin life matter? It does the Latino life matter or the Asian life matter? And what about the indigenous American? For last 500 years, the ongoing genocide. When you are not going to talk about the Native American, then why should anyone care about the African American life? Tell me why? Tell me a single movement of African American which supported the or which raised their voice for this stop of the genocide. Now the genocide not physically, now the genocide is mentally. Now the genocide is to destroy every record of the indigenous Native American which this country belonged to. No one is going to raise their voice. No. And another question is that number 4 is that so-called Black Lives Matter is in a response of so-called USA police system is racist. No. USA police system is not so racist. Yeah, this is a point. USA police system can be evil, can be corrupt. Corruption, again, it depends. We do not have a solid statistic how corrupt is USA police. We are assuming it can be corrupt, it can be evil, it can be coward. There can be a bunch of Looney Tunes, but they are not racist. More people every year are killed in USA police encounter are Caucasian and Latino. And third is the African American. Again, let me think this point. More people are killed in USA are white people. Okay, are white people. When you look at the jail to ratio, more black people are in jail, but more white people are being killed on the street. Why is that the case? And why more black people are killed by the black cops? In USA, around 1,000, last year African American people were killed. Around 400, around somewhere like that, 400 African American was killed by African American cop. But why you do not hear on that thing on the media? Because the TV channel are not going to get the TRP. Yes, that is the case. The TV channel are not going to get in the TRP. When you try to sensationalize the news that a white cop kill a black, awesome, we are going to get TRP. It's going to be very emotional story. But when a black cop kill a black, no. And why now you'll be okay? You'll be saying, okay, Rami, we agree with you. Everything you're saying right, but still, African American people are being killed. Isn't that right? Now let me emphasize on this very important point. The reason that African American people are killed, it doesn't really matter they're killed by an Asian cop or a Caucasian cop or even a Negro cop or even a color cop or a mixed cop. Most of the African American are not Negro, they are considered color or mixed. Another video for another day. Let's assume that African American people are killed by the USA police, but for what reason they are being killed? Valid question. Isn't that injustice? Yeah, that injustice. The same injustice apply for the Caucasian people, for the Latino people, Asian people. Everyone is being killed by the USA police. The number one reason the USA police kill a lot of people is that they are not trained to handle this situation. They are taught fire first, ask question later, like in any other country, like for example in African country, not all, some of the African country like Botswana, police officers are trained, trying to defuse the situation, try to do everything and do not pull your gun at first. Try to defuse the situation. In Asia, in Thailand, I've been there, I have seen police try to defuse. Police are willing to take the bullet on their chest, not like USA police. Oh no! Someone is going. USA police is mentally taught that, brainwashed that your life is more important. In nearly every country, they say the life of a citizen is more important than the life of a police officer. In US, a police officer life matter more. Suddenly, for example, you see someone doing some kind of special activity, you are more willing to shoot, even try to defuse the situation. Again, I'm not saying there are a lot of good police officers, but there are a lot of police officers who are brainwashed. Once you taught in academy your life is more important, if you try to analyze the threat, ask question later, shoot first, that is a problem with the USA police system. That is a problem with their training, their mindset. They are not racist. It doesn't really matter you are white, black, yellow, pink, red, whatever color you are, it doesn't really matter. There should be a movement against reform against the USA police, not based on a victim card, so-called a racist victim card. No. And now is the question, why African American are always killed? Why not the Africans? Yeah, Africans migrate through the lottery scheme. There's hundreds of thousands of African students studying in USA. Why they do not like get into any kind of trouble with USA police? Because they know back in Africa, back in most of the African country like Nigeria or even Uganda, when a police officer pull you, you do not raise your voice. You try to submissive. Yes, you try to be submissive. You do not try to say my right, my constitution. That police officer have a gun. He can legally shoot you. I have been to Rwanda. Like one of my friends said, I should talk to the police officer. There was a president rally. It was election. Like my friend was scared that if we try to go near the police officer and talk, maybe the police officer will assume that something is not right. And you know, of course, I'm a quite outgoing person. I can get easily alone. I said, officer, we have to cross. We have to go to Musanze. They said this road will be closed for today. There's a president rally. Maybe you can go tomorrow. I say, okay, officer, but we have to then. Can you give us another way? And then the police officer guide us. There was a small narrow road. We went through that way. You always try to be submissive. You always try to call boss. I mean, you try to be submissive, you try to be humble, you try to cooperate like in any African country. A African dude is pulled by an African cop. He will never say my right, my constitution. He will never try to make a scene. But America, arrested police officer. Even most of the incident, I'm sorry to say, like a lot of African American people contact me, reach out to me, tell me so many stories. In a lot of incident, the African American is on wrong. I'm not saying they are criminal, but they are wrong. For example, if a police officer is asking to check your vehicle, allow them. Even he do not have a warrant, allow them. Don't. There are so many countless African American people are involved with drugs. You know your own people are doing bad things, then someone have to pay. Maybe you have to pay. Cooperate with the cops and do not try to argue. For example, I mean, there are multiple killing of African American. Like, I really feel sad, but the starting point of that killing is the resist. If someone is arresting you, say, okay sir, arrest us. Go to the police station. African American never being killed in police station. They are always killed in the road. If you love your life, cooperate with the cop. Go to the police station. Once you are there, you can try to defuse or clarify. Do not try to, why you arrest me? Why you arrest me? My right, my constitution. There's no right, there's no constitution. A police officer legally bound to kill you. That one of my Nigerian friend told me. Like, I mean, most of the African American people die. They die due to resist. They die because the police officer, it doesn't really matter if it's a black or white or Asian, he have a fear in his mind that this guy is going to pull a gun. My life matter more than I'm going to shoot him first. That is the entire point I'm trying to emphasize. In African country, there was a famous cop. I wanna go back to that country. I think I should not name that country. Only I'm going to name the cop. Ahmed Rashid. Ahmed Rashid killed a thief in handcuff in a downtown of that capital city. He was handcuffed. He just killed him. Nothing happened. Where were you when innocent African people was killed by the African cop in Africa? Where were you? They were genuinely innocent. I will recommend the Trevor Noah book, Born as a Crime. When he was being arrested, he didn't shout, my right, my right, my right. He knew he was if you don't know South African history, it was a pure racist country, the apartheid. If you are white, they let it go. If you are black, they will throw you in the jail. He said, okay, arrest me. Once you go to the jail, once you go to the court in front of the magistrate, he knew he can defuse or he can get out. He never at one point tried to say my right, my country, blah blah blah. Okay, I want to really end this video. I can keep going on for next few hours, but no, I want to end this video. Please, 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 please. All of the parents are watching my video. Try to teach one thing to your kids. Try to be humble. If a police pull you over, no constitution, no right, be humble and cooperate. If there's nothing to hide, if you're not doing any kind of illegal activity, just cooperate. If you are doing illegal activity, then give up such activities. If in case you are caught in doing some kind of wrong, in burglary, I mean in stealing or some kind of crap, just try to give up at that point. You know your life is going to be end very soon if you try to resist. Do not try to run away. Do not try to do any kind of stupid stuff. Just try to cooperate. Tell the officer, okay officer, I'm doing this one. Or for example, officer, I do not have a license. Or officer, I have some like marijuana in my car. I'm sorry officer, I pull off like this. Number one. Number two, try to teach your kids, do not have bad friends. Most of the time in African America, the problem is like the South African hood. where everyone support each other. If someone is doing wrong, the entire community will come and then try to shame them. In America hood, people become criminal most of the time from the hood. Selling drugs is not a quick way to earn money. If try to teach your kids, they should have a better company of friend. In Africa, like I know a lot of mothers, they tell to their sons, if the police catch you on the road, I'm going to disown you. Like mother or father, they literally disown. The police officer call, okay, we caught your son like stealing something, blah blah blah. They say, we don't know, bring him to jail. In America, if African American is caught doing some kind of stealing, the entire family playing the victim card. The entire family is trying to like defend. No, that is wrong approach. If anyone do, even I do, my own son do, my father do, anyone do, wrong is wrong. Justice to be done. Justice do not see what color you are. Justice is always blind. And finally, my final message that to all of the Black Lives Matter movement supporter. Again, this movement in my opinion is totally compromised. I don't know which agency or what is their main agenda or main motive behind this Black Lives Matter movement. Stay away from this movement. If you want to Black Lives Matter, just try to think what you have done for Africa. Can you name even 10 African countries? Like 10 years ago, people could not even name 10 African countries. Nowadays, people try to watch some YouTube videos, some vlogs, so they have a better understanding of Africa. And ask yourself, can you name one famous African American who did something for Africa aside from the famous singer Akon? He's a Negro race. If you don't know, Negro race belongs to a sub race called Negroid. Negro is a sub race of Negroid. I am also a Negroid. I am not a Negro, but I'm a Negroid. What do Negro mean? Negro mean your blood is pure. Your father and mother both are Negro. If one of them have like any ancestry of Caucasian or European, you consider mix or color. The problem in US is that everyone is black. Calling someone black is racist. Calling someone Negro no racist. You are telling their race. The same way Caucasian, Negro, Mongolite, Astrolite. These are race. These are the classification. Calling someone based on color is racist. And most of the African American people, majority are not Negro. Even they do not have the 56th of their ancestry from Africa. Most of them are from Europe. Again, that is a video for another day. Like in Travel Nova word, if you have 1% blood in your, if you have 1% black blood, you are considered black. Like I mean 99% your blood can be white, but still you consider black. That is the entire point. Again, I don't want to hurt anyone. I love you African American. I really love them. They are a lot of good people. They are amazing people. But please try to be united and try to do something for Africa. In this video I want to end there, and please stay away from Black Lives Matter, this kind of movement. If you are not join some movement, join a movement to reform the police, or join a movement to do something good in Africa, or you can at the end of the day migrate to Africa. If someone tell you to migrate to Africa, it's not racist, to be honest with you. That is where you come from. I'm not bringing race, I'm trying to be honest. And Africa is rising. If you have money, if you have the capital, if you can go to Africa and do something good, that is the best thing in the world you can achieve. That's all I wanna say. Long live Africa. We all have a one dream. It's not American dream, it's the African dream. Subscribe. And I'm sorry if I hurt. I wanna be humbly sorry from the bottom of my heart if I hurt anyone's feeling. My point of making this video was not hurting feeling, to have a straight talk 101 in front of you, so I can better put my point of view in front of you. Subscribe and bye.